welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey, and guess who is back, baby? That's right, it's time for Hanani and Kelsey Rick Riordan time, but this time we're moving into Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard series. So if you guys don't know, for well over a year now, Hanani and I have been making our way through Rick Riordan's backlist. We started off with the Percy Jackson series, then moved into the Heroes of Olympus series, and we just finished a couple of months ago the Kane Chronicles series. So as we are continuing to make our way through Rick Riordan, we definitely needed some break in between the Kane Chronicles and now. So starting in the month of September, we will be reading Magnus Chase. So I don't know too much about the Magnus Chase trilogy. We'll learn together. I do remember loving this cover when I had first seen it. I don't know when the series came out. 2015, yeah. So I was definitely watching booktube videos, and I remember this series coming out and thinking that it was a gorgeous cover, and just knowing that I had to read all of Rick Riordan before I got to this moment. So you can say that I have been really looking forward to this, especially because I know it involves Norse mythology. And as anyone who has loved Thor or Game of Thrones or anything of that nature, Norse mythology is definitely something that will intrigue high fantasy lovers, Marvel lovers even. Magnus Chase has seen his share of trouble. Ever since a terrible night 2 years ago when his mother told him to run, he has lived alone on the streets of Boston, surviving by his wits, staying one step ahead of the police and truant officers. One day, Magnus learns that someone else is trying to track him down, his uncle Randolph, a man his mother has always warned him about. When Magnus tries to outmaneuver his uncle, he falls right into his clutches. Randolph starts rambling about Norse mythology and Magnus's birthright, a weapon that has been lost for thousands of years. Stories about the gods of Asgard, wolves, and doomsday bubble up from Magnus's memory, but he doesn't have time to consider it all before a fire giant attacks the city, forcing him to choose between his own safety and the lives of hundreds of innocents. Sometimes the only way to start a new life is to die. So I'm super interested in this. Like I said, love Norse mythology. And I think I'm also quite familiar with Norse mythology in general. Like I know there's a lot of like background and stuff like that within the mythos, much like with Greek, much like with Egyptian mythos. But I know a basis enough that I think that this is going to be really exciting for me. I also think that Magnus Chase is related to Annabeth. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think so. So let's get into the schedule for what's going to happen with this series and what you can expect from me and maybe Hanani, I don't know. In the month of September, like I mentioned, we will be reading the first Magnus Chase book, Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer. Another look at this beautiful cover. Then in October, we will be reading Magnus Chase and the Hammer of Thor. And then in November, we will be reading Magnus Chase and the Ship of the Dead. These covers are phenomenal. So I love getting back into a Rick Riordan series that is small. So needless to say, I really can't wait to pick these up. They are a bit thick, but I always have a good time with Rick Riordan's books, and I don't find that he like oversaturates things too much. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this series. As with the other Rick Riordan series that I've covered, I will always have a dedicated vlog to the book and reading sprints that will come out eventually. So the first things you can expect is probably a live show date for the reading sprints that Hanani and I will be doing to read Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer. So I will leave a link to the playlist that I have for my Rick Riordan verse if you would like to get caught up on my thoughts and feelings on the series. And also if you want to read along and you want some summaries of what those books are about, you can definitely watch those videos, watch the playlist for any books that you don't really remember. Because they are dedicated videos to these books, I tried to go in as much depth as possible without diving too much into spoilers. So you can go there for any of your reading needs, and the Magnus Chase books will also be in those playlists once they are done. And I will leave a link down below to my baby angel Hanani's channel. She does also have some reading vlogs for some of the books that we read. I believe that that is all the information you need. So if you would like to join us, starting in September, we are reading the first book. I believe that's it. So thank you so much for watching this really short video. It's just to give you guys like a heads up that this is happening. If you would like to follow me on any of my other social medias, I do leave a link down below to my Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram if you would like to follow me there. And of course, because it is the end of the video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It does wonders for my channel. It makes me feel really good. And that's it. I don't know how to end these things ever when I'm begging for likes and subscribes. So that's it. See you next time. I'll see you later. Okay, bye.